Hey guys, it is Samantha. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is a sip of knowledge, a sip of wisdom. It is a sip from the cup of living waters.
One time for the Lord. One time for the cause. One mind of a ghost, one time chasing from you to be like, whoa. After it go on, stand right up, gonna get the job done. Yeah, I'm marrying you, but I'm gonna start a hell. I'm up now, look at what God done. Never put two, look at what God did. On the mic stage, running around flawless. All grace, say, tweet, go this. This is love, my nigga, don't stop this. Wait my neck, you just drop the beat. Say this, get in, I'm not your face. Not my battles, but destination. Oh my God, what a God I serve.
So firstly, before we even get started, subscribe guys, like, comment and share, and also hit on that little notification button so you can be notified when some wisdom is being dropped. Today I am with this beautiful girl, guys. You know, as God, that's so beautiful because clearly we're made in
Stop.
This is my best friend Zinke.
Hi guys, I'm Zinche.
Yeah, today we'll be sharing with you guys our journey on being born again, right? When we say we come from far, we met in high school, grade 8 till matric. We were close friends, and then we didn't really know what being born again was.
Yeah, we basically had no relationship with Christ. We had a very shallow understanding of what God was and who Jesus was and whatever. So
The only thing I know about God was going to church occasionally, not even every Sunday, but just once a month or something. But with clear is different.
I grew up in a Catholic church, so we went to church every Sunday, but that thing wasn't there, like that relationship with God. Going to church was basically a thing for yourself because it looked like the right thing to do, and you were showing other people that, oh, I can go to church every Sunday type of thing, and I can serve and I can do this, but there was no personal relationship.
We didn't really understand what it is to be born again or following Jesus, or the gifts that God has for us, or being marked, or any of that thing, or any of those things. We didn't have any understanding. But we had this friend, shout out to you, Chiala. We had this friend we went to school with, and she was different.
She was oversaved, basically.
That's what we thought.
We thought that she was always like over the whole title of the video. I'm just gonna share a little bit about how I came to Christ. So I mentioned earlier on that I grew up in a Catholic home, and I was doubting the existence of God because He was just not there, and I wasn't pursuing Him, So by the end of matric, I was just at a place of confusion. I didn't know where I stood, or I don't know whether God was there or not, until October 3rd or 4th, I think, or 5th. October 3rd, 4th or 5th,
Yes.
2015, I had an encounter with God, and that changed my life, my world. I felt like my eyes were opened. I was never the same. I was never the same. I had never felt a love that is so deep and so pure for me. Because I was like, God, I'm not ready for you to love me like this, because I was doubting your existence, and now I was just overwhelmed with love and with guilt, and that was the first time I had cried in 2 years, because over the years, Sam, like I was just the strong woman. Basically, I just thought that crying was for the weak, and I just didn't express myself. So that was the first time I cried in 2 years, and I remember praying every night for 2 weeks. I cried because God's presence was so real. But I didn't give my life to Christ after that. I was still in the world doing things, until 2016 came, and my move to Res and varsity and that whole transition. I got really depressed, and I was just going through a lot, and I was just in a very, very low space. And I came home for Easters, and I told my friend, the friend we mentioned earlier on, Shinala, I told her about what I've been going through, and she told me to go on a fast and read my Bible. So we have a Bible at home, but it's the least important book at home, which is very very weird. I went back to school and I fasted and I started reading the word, and that was when, I don't know why, but there was just this burden that was lifted off of me. I felt physically lighter. I felt like my eyes were open. I felt like a new person because I started reading my word. I started understanding the importance of Jesus. I was like, oh, that's why Jesus is such a big deal. He died for us and stuff. Like, I was literally, because I had no clue growing up in a church, I had no clue why Jesus was like the main guy, you know. And I formed a relationship with God, and I realized that Sam wasn't where I was, and I wanted her to have a relationship as well. So this one night I just went on my knees and I was like, Lord, I was crying even, because I was like, Lord, save Sam, because I want her to have what I have with you, you know. And this was around, I prayed this prayer around like before the June holidays. And Sam, I'll just leave the rest to you.
So, like she mentioned, this is around 2016, and I remember I had just come back from the December holidays, and usually December for me was party. Okay, you know, night after night I am there. And I was in Pretoria, and I remember I came back the first week or the second week, I'm not sure, of January 2016. And my mom, one Sunday, she decided that she was going to force me and tell me that I should go to church. And I remember I woke up and I'm like, I'm not going to church. Like, since everyone is going to church, I'll cook for you guys. When you guys go to church, when you come back, you will find 7 colors. You know? I'm not going to church. And mom was like, hey, we do not need anyone to cook for us. We will cook after coming back from church. You're going to church. Having a colored mother is something else. But then, yeah, I remember I was getting ready and I was not in the mood. I was frustrated actually. My brows weren't on fleek because I was mad. My outfit wasn't on point because I was mad.
Oksala, you were still going.
You know what I mean? Because God wanted me to be there because there was a reason. So I remember we got to church, and I remember the sermon like very well. And I remember I just cried. I don't know why I was crying, but unlike Uzinke, I expressed my emotions, you know. I was okay with crying, but that day I did not know why I was crying. Till today, I don't know. But that was the day I had told myself that, you know what, you need to give your life to God, you know. Try this thing out, you know, and see where it takes you. But that was not the day I became born again. I remember I went to church from January till like June. I was going to church, and I remember around June, the time she had made the prayer, there was an altar call for people that want to give their life to Christ, and I received the boldness, and I did that. And then from there, yo guys, attacks left, right, and center. You know, one would say I think I was better off when I wasn't saved, because people think that being born again means, oh, I'm going to get a car, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to get a house, my life is going to be okay because I have God in my life, you know. But it is not like that. You know, the devil realizes that he has lost another soul, so he's going to try everything that he can do just to fight against that.
He's kind of like a jealous ex. Because when you were in the world, he was controlling you. You know, he was telling you, yeah, drink more. You know, sleep with him,
exactly.
yeah. But now when you come to Christ, he's like, no way, you were mine first.
Exactly. You know? It's like, where are you going?
So you become a target, and things start happening to you, and you just don't know why, you know, problems after problems, and you're just like, wait, why is this happening? And you think, oh wait, I think it's because I'm getting closer to God. So maybe the devil's way of thinking is that if we were to stop, you know, praying to God, that we will go back to him.
But no, and what I realized is that, okay, now that I am where I am with God, I realized that things around me were falling apart, because at some point, like, I had been to 2 different schools in 1 year, and every school I go to, like college, I would spend 2 months there, then I would have to drop out because of funds. 2 months later, I tried a different school, and the same thing happens, you know, and I realized that everything that was happening in my life was to give glory to God.
Yeah.
So it was falling apart, so that when it gets fixed, I can't say, oh, I did that. No, I have to give God the glory, because only through him I was able to get through that problem, you know. And now I'm at a completely different place in my life. I know how to deal with my spiritual attacks. I know that, oh, this is from the table, I need to pray. And I'm like, Zinte, yeah, listen, this is happening right now. And you know, we go into prayer together. And we have this thing of, since she's in Wits and I'm at home, we don't see each other. Like, this is the first time we see each other today.
Last
after
time we saw each other was last year, June.
Yep.
And it's June.
It's now 2019.
2019 June. I last saw her 2018 June. Like, we haven't seen each other in a whole year.
But what we do is we spend over 3 hours on WhatsApp calls and video calls and just talking about God. And then this one day, March, a Sunday evening.
It was a Sunday evening. Okay, so let me tell my side of the story. So that Sunday evening, I was driving with my mom back to Reyes because I spent the weekend home. And we had witnessed a really bad car crash and I was driving. So I was very shook because it happened right in front of me. The car skidded across the highway and it was bad. So I called her just like panicking because I was just saying that like, what if that was our time to go? And I was with my mom and my mom's not saved, you know. So that was my main concern, is that I don't want my mom to leave this earth without her having received the gospel and being a believer. So I called her and then we started talking about
I was telling you about the problem I have with forgiving my sister.
Oh yes.
From that moment, like, God's presence was just so thick.
He was there in my room.
Imagine, and in my room, like, God is just like an umbrella.
Through the phone call, God was just there, you know. It was so weird, and we were feeling the same things at the same time.
Because
like,
I was like on the bed, and I swear I could feel my legs were like so close to my chest, and that's how small I felt. Like, it just tells you about God's presence in a home, because I felt so small, and as if there was someone standing next to me, but that person was tall, and I'm like, Cindy, can you feel this? And she went into tongues, and I was just praying, and you know, we just
I started crying, and you were singing, and you started praying, and like, God's presence was so thick in that phone call. It felt like He was the third person, like, in the phone, you know, like, it was amazing. And then there was just this beautiful moment where we were quiet. And
we were hugged by God, because I was telling them, like, dude, I can't move. And she's like, yeah, dude, same here. That is God hugging you. And I'm like, wait, what? It was completely beautiful. And in that moment, God told me to go on a fast the Monday. And it was a 3-day fast. And guys, so much was revealed, including this vlog, because I would never just decide that, hey, guys, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, because it was something we used to joke about, but it was never a thing of like, Zintle, I think I'm seriously going to start a YouTube channel. But God told me that I should do it. I was in a relationship that wasn't for me, and I had troubles understanding why God wanted me to leave that relationship. And the minute I did that, 2 days later, I got a job, and I'm like, okay, God, I see.
Obedience.
I see. You know,
when God tells you to let go of something, it's for your own
exactly, yes, because He knows the plans that He has for you. You know, He knows that He knows that I deserve a better guy, a guy that's gonna pray with me. And
shame.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, no shame. But yeah, and you know, where are you now spiritually?
Spiritually, you know, I have grown a lot, and I have basically just realized with the spiritual encounters that I've had is that the spiritual realm is more real than the physical realm. The spiritual realm affects the physical realm, in actual fact. So I've just gone through a lot of things, God has shown me a lot of things, and personally where I am now is that I am not that girl who used to go out of her way to get your opinion or get your approval, or I'm just me now, you know what I mean? I was very conscious of the kind of person that I was, and I tried to change myself to be a more likable person, but God made me realize that the person that I am is what will give Him more glory, because I had someone tell me that, you know, my mellowness and my personality is kind of drawing in, like people feel comfortable speaking to me, and
Nice.
people have and I just have a welcoming, you know, presence, or you know. So God has really just made me feel comfortable with who I am. And when your identity is in Christ, there is no one that can tell you that no, you're supposed to do like this.
Exactly.
The world won't tell you, no, this is how you're supposed to dress, this is how you're supposed to act. When you know who you are in Christ, He makes you feel comfortable in who He created you to be, because He is your maker. So go to your maker and ask, who am I? And He will slowly but surely like reveal to you the kind of person that you were meant to be. And it's been amazing. I'm so grateful.
And you know, speaking of accepting who you are, your guys, in high school we were like kind of like the outcasts. But now that I think about it, we were pretty cool. But you know,
No, we were.
we just weren't accepted because we were the goofy people. You know, we were
very annoying.
we were loud.
We were very annoying.
Annoy
We
people,
annoyed a lot of people.
laugh at people for absolutely no
We were very
reason.
childish.
Now, you know, we struggled to understand back then why we didn't fit in, you know. We wouldn't get invited to the parties or, you know, hangouts, whatever. People just didn't understand us, and we struggled to understand why that was the way it was. And now we understand that, you know, we were just never meant for the world. You know, we were created for a greater purpose. But guys, that is a story for another day. How we met and what God is doing through us is a story for another day. And if you want to know about that, click on that notification button so that you can be notified when we upload another video. Also guys, I would love to hear about your stories of how you became born again. So drop a comment in the comment section, and then like, share this video. Also follow me on Twitter at _livingwaters. On Instagram it's JAZ__NAY, Jasnay. And that is it for today, guys. This is the sip of knowledge, the sip of wisdom. It is a sip from the cup of living
Did I do
waters.
right?
Stay blessed. We just did that, babes. I hope it recorded.